All right.
We're back.
Leenock versus YoDa coming up here. The up and down matches.
Yep. And everything's produced or progressed pretty normally so far. I mean, not a lot of big shocks yet, I would say, and the games have been one and lost. Maybe Bjorn going down.
Yeah, Bjorn losing to
losses.
Alicia I thought was a little bit weird. I feel like Bjorn kind of outplayed Alicia, but he made like 2 to 3 critical mistakes in that game, like losing a lot of his army in the middle of Terminus.
Yeah. Oh, look at this.
Yeah, Leenock spanked him twice, so he's got to get his revenge.
Spanked him with his giant Leenock-octopus tentacles.
Yeah, slapped him with those tentacles.
Yep. It's like if he's a Pokemon, it says Leenock-octopus uses tentacle slap. Super effective.
I Am Phoenix just came into the studio with the I Am coach coming to cheer on I Am YoDa.
Yep. Looking good in his new I Am jersey.
Yeah, he looks good in that Hook'em shirt. All right. Here we go. The up and down match is Leenock versus YoDa. Can Leenock slap down another Terran? Let's find out here at the GSL.
Wow. YoDa kind of looked a little bit like Sherry Lewis in his picture on the right there. Anyway, on the right side of the map is our Zerg player from Team FXO. He is
FXO Leenock.
I thought he kind of looked like Fruit Dealer. You know when Fruit Dealer's hair was kind of like that?
a little bit. Yep.
Yeah.
I'm just showing my age, I guess. I don't know. Some of you guys know who Sherry Lewis is.
I know who that is.
Good.
But I just thought it looked like Fruit Dealer.
Hey, look, it's a Terran player. I think his name might be.
I Am YoDa.
Yep. YoDa.
I'm gonna go to the production room and have them change it to say YoDa I Am.
YoDa I Am. It makes a lot more sense. It really does. So YoDa played about 5 minutes of StarCraft 2 last time we saw him, and
some more of these little. I guess it's supposed to be a chat.
Ezreal Sunfish. Is that like the name of a league or something in Korea? You know, they have the different division names.
I don't know. It was like
Ezreal Sunfish.
That sounds familiar. I'm trying to think of what that is, but it's probably just a player's name, I would think.
Ezreal Sunfish.
But that wouldn't fit in the BNet character name.
Well, Ezreal makes me think of like the names of things from Diablo. You know?
Yeah,
Diablo
that's true.
2. Oh, I can't wait for Diablo 3 to come out. I'm so excited. Hope I get a beta key. Hint, hint, Blizzard people that might be listening. Hint, hint. All right.
I'm sure we'll get keys.
I hope so, man.
I applied.
I did too. That's all we can do, just like everyone else.
Just like everyone else.
Fast Expo for Leenock. And that drone is going to get trapped.
Yeah, drone is able to see the gas.
Yep.
And this is Antigua Shipyard, of course. A 4-player map, a map that Zergs have complained about a lot.
Yeah.
But not top Zergs. Top Zergs aren't complaining. But there are some places on this map that Zergs find difficult. But ironically, we've actually seen a lot of Zergs even be able to take the gold base on this map. Now YoDa is going to do this bunker here because he sees, oh, you don't have any real answer for this, so I might as well just put a bunker there. He puts it right next to the hatchery in plain sight.
Leenock saving his drone by turning it into an extractor for a short time. And, you know, this isn't a huge amount of pressure being put on by YoDa, but if that bunker finishes, it could turn into that. Looks like it is going to finish, man. Too. Oh, wow.
Leenock is actually just going to leave with his drones.
Yep, I guess so.
And basically, this bunker's not going to kill the hatchery. It's probably not even going to get a queen or anything like that, but it's going to force more lings. It's going to stop mining at that base.
Yeah, it's gonna keep Leenock from droning up as much as he really wants to. I mean, Leenock is a type of Zerg player to like to get a lot of drones early on. SCV even jumps in there as well, coming up the other side. Oh, that drone might be dying soon. I think Leenock is going to need to build more lings. I mean, it's sad, but it's true.
Leenock is such a patient player, and one thing he has noticed is that he saw that there was only one Marine, so he didn't build any more lings. In fact, just made a few lings, and that was it.
Yeah.
I like that. Didn't even lose any drones to that Marine in the bunker. Just lost some mining time.
Yeah, Leenock actually microed that really well. I mean, it's so easy. We see players do it all the time where they'll be in that position. They'll like try to sort of maneuver around the bunker, but they'll still lose a drone or two. But Leenock's too good for that, man.
Well, Leenock, I say it time and time again, in these types of situations, he just doesn't choke. He doesn't get nervous.
Yeah.
And he can hold these types of things quite easily. Already has a spine going up to help for these Hellions. Hellions are going to get there just before it finishes, though, and the Lings are already ready and walled, but he's going to lose some drones.
Whoa, Leenock, what are you doing? Be careful with your drones!
His drone control is actually really good here. Oh, that wasn't quite good, though.
No.
But before he lined those up, his drone control was actually really good, and in fact only lost one drone there.
Wow. Using some sort of dark arcane magic to keep his drones alive longer than any Zerg should be able to.
And look at this, YoDa doing the new style of making a third command center inside the base.
Very OGS top-ish, if you will. Definitely a player that's like to do that on a number of occasions.
Absolutely. Now YoDa is kind of blocked out here by the evolution chamber and the spine. His Hellions are just going to be used now to control the watchtower and to force Zerglings at some key points. Not going to be making blue flame for a while, if at all. I don't think we'll see it. Stim is just now starting.
Oh, Leenock actually canceled his creep colony when he noticed those Hellions were there. That's a smart decision.
Yeah, I really like to see Zergs do that. Leenock making a hatchery. Leenock loves to make macro hatchery before taking a third base. That's just how Leenock is, man.
I think it seems like it's a good idea. It seems like
it's so safe.
It lets Zerg get that little boost of units before they take their third, which they kind of need these days, you know?
Well, you can power up drones or units much quicker that way. It's much easier. And it's just so much safer. You can hold timing attacks a lot easier. There's no real disadvantage to it except that you don't have faster saturation.
Well, there's still some Zergs out there, too, that kind of seem to refuse to do it. They're like, well, there's not minerals around there. I can't build another hatchery. But it's actually a really good idea.
Well, the idea that Zergs have as well, if I'm going to build another hatchery, I might as well build it at an expansion. But Leenock's hatchery idea here is much safer. It's easier to make sure you can keep that hatchery alive. And, you know, you can get so many units out with that.
Well, I really like the reasoning. I heard the reasoning for it put like this one time, as you see the Hellions try to get in the base. Oh, he's going to lose that creep tumor because the queen was standing in front of it. Whoops. But anyway, they said building a hatchery at a new expansion for Zerg is kind of like if you built all your new production buildings outside of your base for another race, you know? It puts your production from that extra base at risk, essentially. So if you do a macro hatch, it's just really safe. Yeah, I like that way of saying it anyway.
I really like talking about this so much, but also
it's important. It's important, Wolf.
These Hellions sneaking over here, killing some creep tumors on the high ground,
but
might have sneaked a little too far forward.
Yep.
The Leenock reaches his tentacles out, grabs one, blows it up.
Almost faster than the eye can see. Like a real one.
Now, Stim is finished here. Siege mode halfway done, +1 weapons halfway done. So, YoDa's pretty normal timings with all of his upgrades, just continuing to use these Hellions to poke, but not overcommitting with them. He's going to see this third base. That's all he wanted to see. Gets out of there immediately.
Whoa! Losing another Hellion there. And Leenock's got so many links. Look at that. Really good positioning by those Zerglings.
And without that macro hatchery, he wouldn't have had that many.
Yeah, that's exactly right. Ah!
Keeps that Hellion alive.
It's like, I'm in a heap of trouble here.
Well, Leenock is going to be in a heap of trouble pretty soon because the problem is YoDa made that fast third command center with the Hellions that pressured him. Leenock was trying to be safe and kind of sit back for a little while, but he doesn't have a real answer for this third base. His third base is way behind, so we have a third command center before a third hatchery mining, and in this matchup, that's not where Zerg wants to be.
No, it's actually really difficult for the Zerg. Oh, but look at this. Tank's not sieged up, and the Lings are going to take him out. This is definitely going to set BM behind a little bit. Or, I'm sorry, YoDa behind a little bit. And, yeah, that third base might not get to do a whole lot. A lot of units getting lost right now for YoDa. Nice little move by Leenock. I mean, he's still not too far ahead because, like you said, his third base isn't quite up and running all that much. But he prevented what would have probably been a push very soon from YoDa.
Right now, Leenock has 70 drones to 56 for YoDa. Doesn't really have much of an army, but with that, he's now got 4 hatcheries with the production that gives. He can just switch to whatever he wants. Once you get that third base up and running, you can just power out units. You just got like a factory. You press a button. You're like, I want this one. You press that button. You just make a ton of them.
I like those kinds of factories.
I wish I had one in my room. I just like a whole factory inside my room. I wish I had one.
What would you make out of it?
vultures. And then I
vulture
would get a
factory?
machine shop, and I would actually research spider mines.
I thought you meant like real live.
That's what I meant,
for a
but
second.
well, I meant like a factory, like a different kind of factory. But then when I said factory, I associated it with StarCraft, and then
Okay.
I got all nostalgic and I was thinking about vultures.
I thought you meant you were gonna like make a bunch of like bird vultures, string them together, and then fly around Seoul, Korea, in like a hang glider made of live vultures.
That would be pretty weird.
Pretty
man.
epic, man.
Well, that turret will
I'd
never
do it.
finish, but one turret for one YoDa, or one SCV rather. Not the best trade.
Not really, no. Leenock is trying to get that Mutalisk number up, and he's actually getting, I'm pretty sure that's Flyer Carapace right now, isn't it?
That is indeed what that is.
Yeah. We've seen a few Zerg players try that. Leenock, of course, is one of those that, what are Mutas really weak to? Marines, obviously. You can increase their effectiveness if you get the Carapace upgrade. So we've seen Zergs kind of toy around with it. Not so sure if it's better than the attack upgrade yet, but it's interesting to see them try it anyway.
Well, basically right now, Leenock's got a trap that's set up that's so obvious that if Admiral Akbar could figure it out, I'm sure YoDa could figure it out really easily.
That's true.
Yeah, that's why he's not really chasing these Mutas, because it seems so obvious. There's one Allion's trying to do some work on the gold-based drones, but unfortunately is not quite able to. And is he just going to walk over this?
Boy. Nope. A little bit
That
close.
was a close call.
Some of the Marines may have gotten singed. Wow, you can really see the range of scans with that.
Yes.
It's pretty big.
Quite a large range there, though. These Marines are scanning.
Now, Leenock tried to take the gold. That may end up being a bit of a bad decision here, because YoDa is going to be able to try to take that high ground very, very soon here.
It seems that way, but with how many units Leenock has been able to power out here,
Yeah, he's going to try.
I think he's actually going to be able to hold this pretty easily. He's got a really good creep spread. He's got the ability to flank with how the creep spread goes.
He certainly could. Now,
Gonna have to deal with this, though.
big upgrades for YoDa right now. YoDa really has the upgrades going well in this department. Look at that, though. The tank's a little bit out of position in regards to where the bio is. Okay, now he's moving the Marines back. But YoDa's doing a couple things that are a little bit dangerous with this push. He's making a couple moves where if Leenock sees this, he can be like, all right, I just need to wait for this moment, and then I need to take advantage of that July Zerg style and roll in and kill this guy.
Well, what YoDa's got is just one small force that's pretty strong, but Leenock set up an area where he can attack from three sides.
Yeah.
Now, this drop isn't going to be very effective because there are already Zerglings waiting.
Yeah, able to take the Marines out basically one at a time as they come out. Spine Crawler there as well. And
Now here comes
look
an
at
attack
that.
with Leenock, flanking with Zerglings.
Really nice move by Leenock, getting 3 siege tanks right off. Oh, looks like 2, almost 3. Kind of thought he would get that one. Pretty decent trade, though, I'd say. About a dozen or so, maybe a little bit more Zerglings for that.
Leenock taking both of the top left bases during this. He's got total control of the middle of the map. Even though he's not controlling the watchtower, with the way he's got his units positioned and with how much damage he's doing with them, he has total control.
Well, what Leenock is seeing right now is that there's some weaknesses in the arrangement of YoDa's forces as he's moving out across the map. He's finding little groups of tanks and Marines to pick off, and if you keep doing that, you can slowly gain this advantage. And look at that, picking off a tank.
And with that Carapace upgrade, he thought maybe he could tango with those Marines, but the Marines said no. And YoDa has actually taken a supply lead here for the first time in several minutes.
Well, you know what they say, it takes +2 to tango. Yep. Don't forget.
It's like the funniest joke I've ever heard.
I think YoDa's trying to cover too big of an area right now. I think that's his biggest problem.
It's very difficult when Leenock can engage. There are several different ramps to, of course, attack up, and Leenock's got the ability to flank very easily. He's going to catch these Marines. Anytime YoDa has a small force, Leenock just swings a tentacle out, surrounds it, and grabs it.
Yep.
Going to get these tanks as well here.
Wow, and I think he's also going to get that Thor. Maybe, no, the Marines being human shields. Those brave Marines.
And Leenock's not really mining from the gold, but he's got the top left bases, but YoDa sees it. He's sending some forces over there. Yeah. Ghost production started, as well as Mobius Reactor.
Well, YoDa's not playing bad at all. I mean, he's going to be able to get this Nexus, it looks like. I mean, Nexus. This hatchery, it looks like he's also moving some Marines into the gold base as well. So he's definitely not out of it yet. He's taking this high ground. He's playing pretty well.
Now these Marines do go down as the hatchery falls.
Yeah, see, that's why it's so tough to hold that gold base. It's just really easy to come and kill it as a Terran player.
Well, YoDa was just so patient with how he did it. If he had just decided to just suddenly go at any given point, Leenock would have crushed him, but he just waited until he was maxed and slowly pushed up there.
Boy.
Nice Marine splitting by YoDa.
Yeah.
8 Corruptors on the way. They're going to want to become Broodlords as soon as the Spire graduates, but it's not quite ready yet.
He's got like a semester yet. He can't get lazy now.
He forgot to take that one.
Whoa, look at that.
class.
He just took out the spawning pool, I think. And another Spire being up. No, is that actually the Greater Spire?
Yeah, it was.
I didn't see the building. Oh, okay, it was. Wow. Leenock making another Spire again right away. Nice little score for YoDa. I feel like YoDa was a little bit too ambitious earlier in the game, but right now he's really putting together a very solid push.
One nice store hit on all of those mutas.
Yeah.
Really changes the strength of those. Drops being shut down left and right, though, by these Mutalisks. And a fungal goes up on these Marines. Banelu's clean them up, no problem.
Yep.
7 Ultralisks on the way. But, you know, against the type of composition we see from YoDa, Ultralisks aren't going to do extremely well.
Yeah, well, YoDa's got his gold up right now as well. That Thor's going to get taken out, but with that gold, YoDa might just have what it takes to take down Leenock here if he's very careful.
Leenock's pretty much consistently been ahead in supply, but he's losing units left and right. YoDa's attacks have been very solid. Nice bungles, though, on both sets of Marines, and all these Marines will fall.
Yeah.
Except the 3 that do fall a few seconds later.
They eventually fell, yeah. He fell, like Gandalf. Yeah, Gimli. What happened to those Marines? He's like, they fell.
Man, you were so good with the jokes today, man.
I don't know. Spirit of Gimli. Nice siege tank line right now from YoDa.
Yeah, and the ghosts are going to do some sniping.
Yeah, we saw his teammate MVP get all those ghosts against July yesterday. Worked very, very well. Decent amount of ghosts already out for YoDa at the moment. Plus 3 vehicle weapons too, and these Broodlords are going to march right into the 5th base, and YoDa's units are badly out of position.
Those Ultras going to do a ton of damage, and Bungles may go off on the retreating SCVs, but he decides not to.
I think he's waiting for the Marines to come back. He's kind of waiting for the Marines to clump up.
Yeah,
and
he's going to want to use it on the ramp.
Yep. And is he going to?
Well, the Marines are nervous.
I'd be nervous too, man. And where's the Infestors right now? We could use those fungals. Oh,
and meanwhile, the top left base is under attack.
Wow, YoDa just relentless with these drops right now. Some drones are burrowed, as you can see there, but still lost quite a bit. Snipe
Good
on the
snipes.
mutas. I don't know if that's the best decision with all the Ultralisks coming up the ramp. And here comes Leenock. Nice bundle, keeping some of those Marines in place. All the snipes.
And EMPs on the Infestors means no fungals.
Wow. And this Ghost play in late game TVZ is looking so strong right now.
Well, YoDa has just done such a great job with his multitasking. With all of his drops, he's been everywhere at once. These drops
Nice
will
fungal
be
on
taken out
Medivacs there.
with that fungal. But he's just been everywhere with the drops, and Leenock has just not kept up with them. He's used these Ultras, which haven't been that useful. Sure, he lifted the right base, so it was almost mined out with the Ultras, but that's about all they've accomplished so far. Snipes going down on these Broods.
Yeah, those Ghosts have got to be getting a little bit low on energy now. They used a lot of snipes on those Ultralisks. I feel like the Broodlords are a little bit out of position, though. And yeah, they're going to get taken down very quickly. Some Vikings up for YoDa as well.
Fungal misses the Vikings. Second Fungal does hit them, and these Corruptors will take them out, but Leenock is starting to get a little low on supply. Huge drop here.
Gets the pool. He's going to get the hive possibly as well. Nope, not going to get the hive, but getting that pool is a pretty big deal.
Right now, as far as mining goes, though, Leenock is a little bit down, although he is going to finish that hatchery in the north again. That's going to boost his mining up quite a bit. YoDa has retaken the right base. He's floating another command center. He wants to take a base that's to the left of his main, but unfortunately for him, Leenock has blocked that with creep.
Yeah.
Leenock just has a lot of high-tier units, but doesn't have a lot of support for them. I think that's what's going to really be his downfall if he doesn't start making a few more Zerglings. And he can't because he doesn't have a spawning pool. He's not even remaking it right now.
You know, we were talking yesterday about what July could have done against MVP when he was in this similar situation. And kind of the answer that a lot of us were thinking of was going back to just mass muta, you know, going back to that tier 2 tech. So we'll have to see if Leenock decides to do something like that. Right now, though, definitely sticking with the tier 3.
And these Broodlords are going to do a lot of damage because the Corruptors can support them.
Yes, they will. And the Siege tanks sieged up, shooting at each other here. There's the unsiege from YoDa. Wow. These TVZs lately, man, they've been getting pretty exciting.
YoDa does take out the 9 o'clock base of Leenock. He's going to the north base as well during all of this. And these Broodlords are doing some serious damage to the Planetary. Will he be able to save that base? I don't think so. It's going to be taken out by these Marines. They have 3-3. They're simming. They're taking out these Broodlords. Will take out the Planetary. And neither of these players are going to really have much mining in a second. Yeah,
Leenock retaking his gold. Oh, another hatchery taken down by YoDa. Overlord coming for revenge right now. But yeah, the command center taken out by Leenock. And look at this. Goodbye, Ultralisk Cavern. Goodbye, possibly Baneling Nest. Goodbye, possibly Greater Spire. It sounds like I'm writing a children's book about the end of this game.
Yeah, I mean, YoDa is just being more mobile with his forces, whereas the Broodlords harassment, I guess you could say, of Leenock is just slowly attacking different locations.
Yeah.
But YoDa is just so much more mobile.
That's the thing, is this late game Zerg tech is just so immobile that it becomes very, very difficult to protect those very important buildings if you just go Broodlord Ultralisk.
Right now for income, about 1,100 minerals per minute for Leenock to 600 of YoDa. He's actually retaken the gold right now, so he's going to have a ton of drones mining there. He's going to shoot ahead.
He's got a lot more gatherers too right now.
Yeah, YoDa is going to have to make something happen. He's actually losing some of those gatherers right now to Broodlords in the middle of the map. These SCVs are actually being taken out by his own siege tanks.
They're like, no!
And as far as gatherers go, 62 drones to 27 SCVs. And that number falling very quickly here, and it looks like Leenock actually may just be able to power through.
Yeah. Well, I mean,
YoDa didn't respond to the Broodlords properly.
YoDa didn't make enough Vikings. He didn't make enough Ghosts. He's got a lot of Marines, but oh, nice EMP on some of those Infestors, but not enough. Fungal's going down a lot. Really overly EMPing those Infestors, actually. And now he's got enough Vikings to take on the Broodlords, but will it be enough?
Oh, he's just trading armies with Leenock, and Leenock has better economy right now. He's got 8 Ultras on the way. Some snipes going down these Broodlords, and in fact, he may actually end up losing all of these Vikings, despite what we thought.
Yeah, look at that, rebuilding everything so fast right now. The supply count shows it, 100 supply ahead for FXO Leenock. Leenock just playing like a boss today, man. He's really impressing me. That one medevac wishing it had Marines inside it, but it doesn't.
And 2 Broodlords and a Corruptor siege YoDa's base. And with these Ultras streaming across the map, I don't know how much longer YoDa's really going to be able to hold on.
Yeah, more.
We're going to see some sick Fungals on the rest of YoDa's units.
Every Fungal is a nice Fungal, Wolf. Don't forget it. GG! Wow. There you have it. Leenock up 2-0. FXO Leenock giving himself a really good chance to get back into Code S, and YoDa, he's can't be feeling too good after that.
No, he can't be. He's watching his Code S medallion slip away.
Well, you know, if you hold it by the smooth end, it can be kind of slippery.
It can be a little slippery, especially after you play a really long TVZ. Your hands are kind of sweaty.
I know.
You got to hold on to it pretty tight.
Yeah, plus, I mean, if YoDa did win, he'd just, like, pick it up. He'd be like, what this is?
That's my dinner.
It's like
You're making a mess.
Archie's, like, shocking him. He's, like, hitting him with his cane. And Luke's just irritated, because that's just what happens.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, you know, he didn't know what Dagobah was going to be like.
Well, Obi-Wan didn't really tell him. Obi-Wan, like, totally trolled Luke. He's like, you're going to go learn from the Jedi Master. And he's like, it's a swamp. But
yeah, he was pretty annoyed at Ben. And then he didn't tell him about his father and all that. He was just, they were having a rough time in their friendship, you know.
Well, when Ben told him to go to Dagobah, it was kind of one of those situations where Ben's like, oh, he's, like, almost frozen to death. I can tell him to go there, and he's not going to argue with me because he's, like, hypothermic and delirious. So Ben's like, go to the Dagobah system, and all Luke is like, it's like, Ben.
He was like, all right, I'll do what you say.
Obi-Wan could have been like, oh, yeah, and transfer this much into my bank account, too. And Luke would have just been like, Ben. But he would have done it later. Yeah.
Well, YoDa, he's probably not going to be able to make it into Code S now.
Yeah, probably
he's still
not.
got a chance, but being 0-2, it's very difficult to come back from.
Him and Beyond getting knocked down. 2 Terran players, interestingly enough, on the losing end so far. Our next game is going to be these two right here. Another TVT, Beyond versus Supernova. The map will be Daybreak. Pretty cool here. Now Supernova, if he wins this game, it basically guarantees him a spot in Code S. And if Beyond loses this game, it solidifies him not having that spot in Code S any longer.
And this is a rematch for these guys.
Yep.
These guys have met before. Now the map is loading. Are you ready, Doa?
Loaded. I'm ready. Are you ready?
I'm ready.
All right, well, let's go Mo. Here at the Up and Down matches. Here at the GSL. Stay tuned, guys. We're about to get into the game.